Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George, or Al George. So happy Saturday. Let's talk about Bitcoin and its trap. The trap was set for bears, that is. So let's talk about what this is about and what happened yesterday and what to expect later this week. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Like I said, happy Saturday. Not a whole lot of movement today. Bitcoin is going sideways now, around 60,700. That's not bad. That's actually a good spot to be in. Let things cool off, and then we can go back up, right? Overall, the market is still trending upwards. A lot of the alts are in green right now. Everything is still in green. So that's pretty good. A U.S. market closed yesterday in the green as well. So that's not bad. Someone like Robinhood reported a surge in crypto revenue. Well, that's to be expected. So any brokerage like Robinhood, and of course exchanges like Coinbase, you know, as we go further in this bull market, they will obviously see their trading activity go up, their revenue, their profits will go up, and their stocks are probably gonna go up as well. I mean, that's no surprise, right? I mean, you could almost, I mean, just like Bitcoin's movement, you could like time it out, right? You know exactly when it's happening. So, anyways, they're reported as no surprise. And as for Bitcoin, well, we knew. I showed you guys. When we had that plunge down to 49,000, institutional investors bought. They bought the dip. There were so many signs that showed that they bought the dip. When retail is panicking, these big whales, these big money, the smart money, they buy, right? Part of the reason why we came up. We're like almost like a V-shaped recovery. Not quite all the way up, but that's exactly what's been happening. You just have to pay attention. Look at this graphic too. This is an awesome graphic about MicroStrategy and all the Bitcoin that they have taken in, right? And they're about to take in more. They're raising $2 billion to buy more Bitcoin. But look at how most of it, if not all of it, has come from one source. That's right there at the beginning on the left side, Coinbase. The Coinbase has more Bitcoin than anyone realizes. And Arkham last time found like $30 billion that they can still sell. But anyways, it goes to show you like MicroStrategy, they continue to buy, and the rest of the big whales continue to buy. Institutions are buying. Everyone is buying, right? That will always be from here on out, okay? 2017, 2021, we didn't even have institutions interested in Bitcoin. Now that we have ETFs and it's been like legitimized by our government, now they're buying. And they truly understand. They've educated themselves. And guys like Larry Fink will never sell now. He just keeps on buying more. And that's why you keep seeing more and more inflow into BlackRock's ETF. But you also got guys like Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, and others that are implementing Bitcoin strategy. And they keep on buying too. They love to see the dips. You got to train yourself to love the dips so that you can continue to buy more and hold and basically wait for the gains to come to you. Now, what's this bear trap? Okay, well, we know that every single cycle, Bitcoin pretty much does the same thing. Okay, we have a lot of up and downs, but then we also, you know, move kind of in the same pattern, and I'll get to that what I'm talking about in a bit. But this one also shows that we are in the bull. I guess we have bottomed out, right? It looks like we went into bear territory for a little bit. We have bottomed out, temporary bottom, a local bottom, and now we're ready to go higher, right? So that's what this is showing, right? So That's pretty good. But this was what I was talking about, right? Like in terms of like every cycle, we go through kind of the same thing. And I've shown you guys when zoomed out, a lot of cycles look very, very similar because we have kind of like these steps, right? Going from the bottom, like bottom of crypto winter is like total accumulation. And then you have a little trend, upward trend, right? Then you have a little shakeout and then you have a momentum building. First sentiment extreme. I would say first sentiment extreme was when we topped out at 73,000, right? Like we broke through our previous high and everyone's getting really FOMO-ish, right? Euphoria. And now we have come back down, right? Now we're at 60,000. So I would say this is 100% accurate that overall we have just set a bear trap. Right? A lot of bears came out. When we fell down to 49,000, a lot of bears came out. A lot of bears say, well, we're going to go down to 30,000. Right? We may even see 20s. But, you know, obviously that didn't happen. Right? I bet a lot of shorts piled on. I don't have to bet on that. I mean, we have data. We have $15 billion worth of shorts piled on now. Okay? Leading up to $70,000. We got $15 billion of shorts, short contracts. That's only up to 70,000, right? So obviously, I would say this is a bear trap. But then what happens after a bear trap? Renewed optimism. That's when we finally get to 73,000 and break through. Then we have FOMO, and FOMO could carry us well into 2025, maybe like around the March, April timeframe. And then we have euphoria. And that's when probably Bitcoin tops out around $200,000, $250,000, $300,000. Right? And then we can come back down. If we're following a normal cycle. Right? Whenever we have that top, actually, when Bitcoin comes down, like the shoot access or bull trap, that's actually when altcoin season starts. Normally speaking, altcoin season, it's just the last few months of the cycle. Normally when Bitcoin have topped out, that's when the money goes into altcoins. So a lot of you guys are talking about like, when is altcoin season gonna come? It's actually, it comes after euphoria. That's usually when Bitcoin actually starts coming down, when it loses that liquidity, that's when alts like skyrocket to the moon. Just temporarily, just a little bit. But here's the thing, going all the way down, are we gonna see the same thing this time? People have also asked whether we are going to have an extended crypto winter just like previous cycles. The answer is we may not this cycle. And the reason being are those institutional investors. If they're holding billions or tens of billions of Bitcoin, are they going to time it where once euphoria comes and it's about to go down, will they just like panic sell everything, just like retail investors? And lead us back down to like an 80% drop from top. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. These guys, they continue to buy whenever we have big dips, right? So if they see like a 30% dip, what these institutions are going to do, they're going to start buying up the supply. They're going to buy more. So if that's the case, you always have an ever-ending buying pressure from the institutions. Then are we really going to see Bitcoin fall 80% like last cycle? Maybe not. Maybe we just see a 40% or 50% before we just recover right back up. So all this about breakdown, fear of capitulation, bottom fishing, despair, that may be a very, very short time frame going forward, right? So that'll be interesting. That'll be very, very interesting. But anyways, I think we have set a bear trap. Bitcoin has set a bear trap. Okay, that's my point. I do believe that this is a great time to be accumulating still, to be holding, obviously. And we know Bitcoin's going to come back up. And everyone's going to forget about what has happened, right? But if you took advantage, you won't forget because you'll be making gains afterwards. All right, what else is there? Bullish pennant. You know, that's pretty obvious. We have seen a lot of patterns like this before. Here's one, massive cup and handle pattern. That certainly does look like a cup and handle, right? And what happens after a cup and handle? a big explosion upwards. So again, if we set a bear trap, then it's perfect for this scenario to play out, right? Because the next stop is back to our previous highs in the 70s, and then finally breaking out of it since we've been in this pattern for so long. Maybe coming. And then on a grand scheme of things, okay, like I've said, our pattern basically has been identical to previous patterns. Sure, there's been a few deviations. Sure, in 2020, we had a massive COVID crash, right? That was a little out of norm, but according to every cycle, it's been pretty much the same way. And this one is interesting. From the peak of the last cycle, usually it's 800 days before the start of the parabolic bull run. Okay, which is actually kind of interesting. That includes all the days for crypto winter and then coming up from the bottom, right? But like we're like right there, 800 days. 800 days since that 69,000 peak in 2021. So that's interesting too. That's very interesting, right? And something else that will help not only Bitcoin but the entire crypto space is stablecoins. The consolidation of stablecoins is all-time high now, right? So why is that a good thing? Well, more and more are buying stablecoins. We're seeing influx of Tether and USDC into the space. And again, that relates to those big whales and institutions that have billions that they're putting into the market. So whenever we see Tether like mint new Tether, it's always like a billion more or 1.5 billion more or something like that. I mean, these guys are putting in billions into the market. So if you see the supply go up, that's a very, very good thing. Very good thing indeed. Outside of Tether, what else? Grayscale report. Liquidation longs, perpetual positions, fueled ETH's Black Friday flash crash. Well, this also relates to Bitcoin. Obviously, we saw ETH took a huge dump, right? A lot of it was from jump trading, also from Grayscale, and a lot of it was from the longs being liquidated. We had a long squeeze, which always sucks. But ETH has recovered quite nicely. And the increasing Ethereum use strengthens the case for a rally to 3K. Well, obviously, right? I mean, ETH was at 3K. We will get back to 3K. But ETH, right? They have their hands full because the competition is fierce. Okay, so we'll see what they do this cycle. Ripple, obviously, winning a huge case against the SEC. Now they're getting ready to launch their stablecoin, the Ripple Ledger USD, RLUSD. I think it would have been better if they just like dropped the L. Okay, if they just said RUSD, would it sound? I mean, RLUSD sounds too long. Anyways, they're getting ready to challenge Tether at USDC, right? And if successful, this is going to make Ripple billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. So we'll see. We'll see. And then lastly, games like Off the Grid is actually coming out on PlayStation 5 today. If you are a console gamer and you're excited to play like the very first Web3 game that's built for consoles, it's coming out today. The graphics look awesome, but I haven't played like a game like this for like so many years. But a lot of you guys I know like Call of Duty games and stuff like that, so could be interesting, could be good. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Robert, there's no need for a poll of that. For that question. Let me see if I missed anything. Good morning, morning, morning. All right, let's see. No questions. Why is XRP launching a second stablecoin? A lot more people have been asking about my educational video. It's like the hot thing among XRP Army. Is it possible Bitcoin goes to 300K and most alts bleed out to zero? No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Every cycle, the Bitcoin maxis will tell you that alts will just go to zero and Bitcoin is the only one that's going to go up. That's not true. That's not true. Altcoin season comes when Bitcoin is nearly like topped out. It will trend upwards for sure. Alts will trend upwards for sure. In fact, this cycle, alts have been stronger than any previous cycle. But on this scale, like around FOMO euphoria is when, and after Bitcoin tops out too, the shoot access and possibly, yeah, I think shoot access. I would say the three dots here: FOMO euphoria, shoot across. I don't know why I said shoot access. Shoot across. That's when altcoin season happens, right? So you have a very limited time frame, maybe 3 to 6 months, but the last like month is when it gets really crazy. What do you think about Nervos? It's an old project from like 2017, 2018. No one really talks about it. I think they deviated to become an interoperability play for Cardano and others. Like it could bridge different coins from different chains, but I mean it could do well, but no one really talks about it. Oh, that's why they couldn't name it RLUSD, because RUSD would be like the Russian dollar, or they could have done USDR. You know, RLUSD just sounds off. Anyways, doesn't matter. Thoughts on Grayscale Sui Trust Fund? How high do you think it go? I'm not a fan of Grayscale. I mean, their parent companies, sister companies have all gone under. And look at what has happened with their ETH ETF and Bitcoin ETF. Nothing but outflows. I don't think Grayscale has good name recognition anymore. And I wouldn't trust anything that they do. So as for the trust fund for Sui, sure, it caused a little bit of a pump. But in the long run, if they ever come out the ETF, all that's going to do is just have them, help them dump it. Penny, it's been a long time since I had the best bell in the industry. It's dead. Erman, stop the caps. Drew says it really seems like we have been in the longest bear market ever. Well, if you look at this, you'll realize no, we haven't been. We haven't been. Actually, we're in an accelerated market. We should have never gone up this much this fast, but we did because of ETFs. Otherwise, you know, since March until now, would have been me just talking about, um, you know, sideways movement, really. No, I'm not the founder of Crowded Combat. No. No, I'm just the founder of the IFC portion, the Influencer Fight Club. How many lost coins do you think are out there? Quite a lot. It's been said maybe up to 10% of the supply is lost. I don't know if it's that much. Um, Actually, no. It's been said that more than that. Maybe like I've always heard like between 4 to 8 million lost. So that's way more than 10%. That's like 20 to 40%. Yeah, I'd say somewhere in there. I think conservatively, maybe 2 million is lost on the bottom to low end, but on the upper end, it could be like close to like 6 to 8 billion, a million lost. So a lot of it is lost. Any new Lego buys? I just bought this Lego like truck from Costco because it's almost half off. It's like a $100 set is being sold for $59. Um, it looks like they have a new G Wagon. I want to buy that. And I don't know what else they have. They have all these new sets, but I have not had any time to go to the store and buy any. I'll leave this up. Is XRP going to make a recovery? Everything seems to be going in their favor. I don't know. They're still they're still below their trend line. With all the good news, they're still stuck below that trend line. They still haven't broken out of there. I mean, they just need to go up a little bit. They just need to go up to like 70 cents, 80 cents, a dollar, you know, then you could clearly see the break, but yeah, there's no break here. There's no break right now, even with the recent win. Keep in mind, the peak was 2018. The peak wasn't 2021. Like most alts, they peaked in 2021. I mean, with their recent all-time high. This is showing all-time high from 2018. It's been 6 years. It's gonna be 7-year going into next year. I remember 1 year ago, people were saying Bitcoin price in 2025 will be 300K. Do you still believe this? I think there's a good chance of that. That hasn't changed. That looks like a pretty decent V. So need to get back above the 63.7 and just hang in here for a little bit until we're ready to break out. And the next step will be getting back to 63.7 or 64,000. Ryan Kane, I didn't know you reviewed cars until I was looking at an Audi plug-in review. Now I understand all the car question. I like cars. Yeah, I've been reviewing cars for a long time. Recently, I have not been reviewing a lot of the newer cars. But the car channel is still going. You know, my guy Josh and Steve, they've been reviewing new cars. But I've reviewed hundreds and hundreds of cars. Plus, I just enjoy them. Greg saying that Jed McHale received 9 billion XRP as co-founder, one guy 9%. He sold it all. Like sometime last year or the year before, Jed McHale finally sold all of it. So there's no fear about that. However, the Ripple team still holds 50% or close to 50% of XRP, which is why it's not as centralized as people think, or not as decentralized as people think. Do you know if Curve and DeFi niche seems to be a good play now? I never really think any DeFi project is a good play. Right now, I think Jupiter is a good play. Jupiter is kind of an extension of Solana. Like other ones, like Curve, no. Curve has a lot of problems. A lot of problems. You know, the founder, I don't know the exact details, but the founder like put up a lot of his collateral to stabilize Curve, and Justin Sun had to come in and stabilize it because there was going to be a whole lot being liquidated. Like, yeah, I don't trust Curve. But in DeFi projects in general, like DeFi dexes, Uniswap and SushiSwap and PancakeSwap, you know, I just don't find them very appealing. Andrew's big super chat. Is there any way to check Coinbase buying through the dip? Reason why I'm asking is if they load it up a prolonged amount of time, they could fill big orders. We all want institutions to buy spot market, of course. That's an interesting question. I would figure someone like Coinbase does not need to buy. They already have so much. It'll be interesting if there is a way to measure if they're actually, Coinbase itself is buying. I don't know. I don't know. If Arkham, I'm pretty sure if Arkham knows their wallet, I'll just have to find it again. And if you ever see that OTC wallet go up in value, then technically I guess they bought. But they could have just bought, that might have just gone up. Well, if we do see it go up, it could have just gone up because some institution was selling back to Coinbase, right? I don't know if that proves Coinbase itself is loading up. I don't know. That's an interesting question. No one's ever thought about that. Jacob, no, I'm not going to be checking that. Would you buy a Bentley GT Continental? I'm not a big Bentley guy. I don't think they look very good, and they depreciate a lot. I don't know. I just don't. I don't like Bentleys that much. All right, guys. I'll let you get back to your normal Saturday routine. Overall, I think Bitcoin is in a pretty good spot. We're going sideways now around 60K. It's just a matter of time we break out. We got a lot of good things still happening in this space. We got institutions that are still buying, okay? And we may have just set an ultimate bear trap for the long-term bears, the ones that want to see Bitcoin go down, right? We have set that trap for them. So have a good weekend, guys. I will see you guys on Monday, and wait for my educational video. And plus my Sunday walk video tomorrow too. All right. Take care. Bye.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.